guys, this is the video you have long awaited for, and I'm sorry I had to make you wait this long. It is not my fault, it is not my intention. My schedule has just been so this is Ade, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about my relocation to Finland. As you all already know, I'm currently in Finland and I'll be answering all of your questions, but to ensure that I don't miss any of the questions, I created a list of the questions, the popular ones. So if I don't address your question in this video, what you need to do is just drop the question in the comments and I'm going to get to it. I promise. God sees my heart. Okay, so now the first question is hold on, let me open. Hold on, wait a minute, okay, okay, yes, I found it. I'm so sorry. Okay, the first question is, did you go to work or study? I am in Finland to study. What course am I studying? International Sustainable Business. So that's the course I'm currently studying in Finland. The second question is, this is a very, very popular question. My DM is filled with this question, and it is, how do I apply? First thing first, you have to be ready to do these things yourself. Remember, okay, let me put a disclaimer first. I am not a travel consultant. I'm not an advisor. All I am just sharing is my personal experience, just the way I have always done when I go to a restaurant, when I go to a hotel. Basically, that is what I'm doing. So please, this is my personal experience. Do not take it as a professional advice. You should go and make your research and decide what is best for you. Now, to answer the second question, how do I apply? You simply apply by going to studyinfo.fi. Go on your Google and type studyinfo.fi. You get started from there. Do you need IELTS? Yes, you do. At least that is what I know. You do. I used IELTS, so you would most likely need IELTS as well. So for some schools, they might not. I'm not sure. Like I said, this is not a professional advice. So please don't quote me. Some schools might maybe for you, but for all the schools that I've applied to, I used IELTS. So you need to prove your English proficiency, even though we were born and bred in English. Whatever. Okay, the third question, did you get scholarship? No, I did not. No, I did not get scholarship. I did not get scholarship. So usually the schools will tell you, oh, we have 50% scholarship, we have this, we have that. For my school, the scholarship is after the first year. So the first year, you pay your school fee. So the best they can do for you in the first year is just to give you a student a discount, an early bird discount. So in my case, I got a discount of 1,500 euros, which is, well, it's something, I guess. So they'll give you they'll give you discount, but the next year, if I finish with 60 credits, and there's a way they calculate it, if I finish with that, then I might get a 50% school fees discount. So that's that on that question. The next question is, do they take deposits? My darlings, I've not seen any school here that takes deposits. You need your full money. Your full money has to be in your pocket. Do you understand? You need to have your cash at hand. They don't take deposits. It's full tuition. If you're fortunate, I think in the past, the vocational schools were free. So if you're fortunate to go through vocational schools, maybe, I don't even think they do free more anymore because they've been getting demands, and so demand, when the demand outweighs the supply, you know what the suppliers do. So that's the case. So no, they don't take partial payment, it's full payment. You have to pay your full tuition for the first year. The next question, can I go with dependents? Yes, you can go with dependents. So I would not be talking more on that because, well, it is what it is. Now, another question is, how much is the school fees? Depending on the school you go for, actually, they all have varying school fees, just like every other country. So you could get, like, I think the minimum you're probably going to find is 4,000 euros. And it's between 4,000 to 12,000 actually. When you go and study info, you will see most of this information. It's pretty straightforward. So it's like that, 4,000 to 12,000. Some people get very fortunate and then they find scholarship more. Really, it's within that range. If you don't, because mostly a lot of people would not get that scholarship. So it's within 4,000 euros to 12,000 euros. So the next question would be, did you use any agents? Please, I have answered this question multiple times. I have answered multiple times. No, 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 no. I can never turn back. Oh, no, no. It's already too late. Oh, no, no. It won't make sense. Oh, no. I did not use agents, and I don't know. You should not as well. So you should just do it yourself. You can do it yourself. Don't let agents plant doubt in you. Except, don't use agents, because the funny thing is, when I went for the interview, it wasn't an oral interview, it was a written interview. I did a written interview, and when I did the interview, in the questions, I still remember till date, there was a part that stated that, did you use agents? So they probably want to know. So I don't think you should use agents if at all you can afford it. So that is it. Now, to the people that have been asking, how can I do it? How can I do it? Again, I'm going to say it. This is not a professional advice, but this is what I did that worked. What we did. Because if I say I, you think I did it alone. I did not do it alone. No, my husband supported me all through the process. Like, God bless that man. God bless him in Jesus' name. Amen. So the process is simple. The first thing first, have your IELTS so that you know you are good on that aspect. The second thing will be, go on study info. They have the main admission period, which is the main admission period. It's the process that they open the portal around January or February. I'm not sure. That's why I said you should go and check, which is the joint admission. Go online, go on Google, Finland joint admission. So you check it. So they start by January or I think February, but either of the dates. So now they will take admission. That is when you're going to apply. During that joint admission, instead of applying to one school, I apologize for that. Instead of applying to one school, you'll be able to apply to 6 different schools with one tuition. Not one tuition. No. It is why I said this thing should not be. Don't go and say, and they said kineko. I did not say oh. I'm only doing YouTube video because people harassed me for it, and because I know that in future, if it blows, I will make money. Okay, so with one, you're going to be able to, during the joint admission, you're going to be able to pick 6 schools. You can pick Savonia, you can pick the one in Helsinki. You will just be able to pick 6 different schools, and you'll be paying just one application fee. Do you understand? So that is for joint admission, but there are schools in which they don't get filled during the joint admission phase, so they will not create their own separate admission. That one is separate. When you apply for separate admission, you only be able to apply to the school directly. It means your one application fee is for one school. Do you understand? But then if you go for that, Usually, I used a separate admission to get admission, and it was easy. But when you use joint admission, the process is a lot more. Do you understand? Because you're going to go through every step that study info has established. You do tests, I think 2 different tests, you do oral interview, and a lot more. So that is that. So once you now get admission, please, another thing is you need to have your money, your school fees on ground. Do you understand? On ground. Don't just assume that I'll look for it when the admission comes, because the deadline you'll be given for admission is most likely 2-3 weeks. Not for admission, for school fees payment is most likely 2 to 3 weeks. Do you understand? So it is very important for you to have your school fees at hand when you're applying, so that you don't just waste your application fee. Do you understand? So that's that on it. So once you have gotten the admission, you pay school fees. After paying school fees, and then the school will confirm the payment. Once the school confirms payment, and then you now start the process for authentication and verification. You want to authenticate your documents. What do you want to authenticate? What documents did we authenticate? Okay, for us we authenticated the marriage certificate, we authenticated the birth certificate, and then aside that, what else did we authenticate again? I think it was just that too. But aside that, I also had to request my transcript from WAEC. I went to WAEC at Yaba, requested my transcript to be sent to my school. So that was part of the things my school requested for. And after all of those, there were also payments that the school requested that I made. Like there was the school insurance, health insurance, I paid for that. I think it was about 35 per semester. And then aside that, there was also the student union fee. There were a couple of pocket fees that are like 50 euros, 30 euros that we paid. So when you send for authentication is done by our Nigerian ministries. So Ministry of Interiors and the likes, those were the people that handled authentication. But verification is done by the Ministry of Finland, the ministry itself. So that authentication, did I say authentication? Verification. To do that verification, you first email the embassy that yes, I got this admission. Can I proceed with this? Kiniko. Once the embassy gives you feedback, they'll give you an account to pay it to. Once you pay it to, and then you go to VFS. You go back to VFS to pay for authentication. How much did we pay for authentication? I don't have the exact figures, because if I wait until I have the exact figures, I might not make this video until the next 1-2 months, and you guys are harassing me already. You're harassing me. Okay, so then you go back to VFS, and then you use the confirmation from the embassy, you take it to VFS, and then you pay for verification. The verification takes approximately 2 months. Do you understand? So let's say you got the admission in January, you paid in January. Verification takes like 2 months. But our own, in some cases, we started the verification early. We did it very early, so it didn't take up to 2 months. I think it took 1 month and like few days. That was when we got feedback that yes, it has been verified. And after they said, once they give you the feedback that yes, you can now send your physical copy, send the physical copy of your documents to VFS office at Abuja, then you can now use your courier service, maybe GIG or something, to use it to send the documents. The money we spent on that back and forth sending, and before sent marriage certificates, they did that one. And then when Nathan was born, we had to send Nathan's birth certificate. They did this back and forth like 50k. Now we're just spending. Well, that's by the way. So once you send it like that, they would stamp it. There's a way they stamp it and confirm that yes, this document has been verified. This document has been verified, and then they'll tell you that you can send your courier to come and pick it up. So after that phase, please, as soon as your verification is done, go to VFS and book your visa appointment, because it is very important. Appointment, don't wait until when you are close to when you want to apply before you. That's the mistake we made. Otherwise, maybe my husband and baby would be here by now. No, it wasn't really a mistake, because my baby came really, like, my baby came in April. My baby came in April. We had to do back and forth before we could get a baby's passport. Before you can get a baby's passport in this country, you have to the tears from here will enter here, because before they can take the picture, before you not tell them that, oh, kiniko. Do you get it? It's a long process because it was a baby. So because of that, before his birth certificate verification was completed, my baby was born in April. Before we finished his birth, before we got his passport, it was like 2 weeks after. So that was towards me already, and then we now had to just send his documents, authenticate his document, his birth certificate. After authenticating, we had to also do verification that took like almost 2 months. So May, June, July. So it was already July. By July, when we said we should go and book appointments, we did not even find any close dates. So please, if you don't have a baby that would put you into the circumstance that we were, I think you should book your appointment early. And then once you book the appointment, submit your visa, do the visa application online. And if you can, I think you should pay online as well. We didn't pay online because the online payment you have to pay in I think you have to pay in euros. It wasn't taking Nigerian card, but when you pay in their office at VFS, it would they have POS that takes Nigerian naira, and that was really good for us. Please submit the document online. You can submit online without paying yet. All you just have to pay is the service fee, which is like 86k. So you just go and pay the visa when you are already there. So don't go and say you want to go and do paper application. Paper application is more expensive than digital application. So you should apply online. It saves you a lot of stress. And also, if you can, take your passport before going. Please, if you're applying for BSc, plan yourself. When you go for the appointment eventually, don't rush to come back home. Give like 1 day, so that if they invite you for written interview, you will not be back in Lagos, because that's another thing we suffered. I traveled down to Abuja. By the time I got to Abuja, I was like, okay, since I'm done with the biometrics, the next day I came back to Lagos. It was when I came back that I got a text from the embassy that yes, I should come for my written interview. Jesus Christ. It means I had to take another flight back. We're just spending any hour of flight. I'm telling you. So the best thing is, if you're applying for BSc, I think masters don't need written interview, but for BSc, yes, you need written interview. So just wait till the second day so that you can confirm that either you need or you don't need. They will usually email you or reach out to you in the second day or third day. Also, if when you want to book appointment, you did not get, let's say your deadline is, because I was fortunate, God was faithful, I got a manual appointment. So if you were in that same circumstance whereby when you got to the appointment page, there was no close appointment, just book the closest and then start praying to your God, and also email the embassy to let them know the urgency of the appointment. Email VFS as well. Just keep praying and hoping that they will give you a manual appointment. So that's that on that. I want to believe I have answered most of the question, but if I have still not answered your question, maybe I can spare one more video. So just drop your question in the chat box. box. If anybody is asking, oh, you didn't travel with your baby, yes, I did not travel with my baby and husband yet because they had delays, okay, and I have a deadline. If you don't, schools would give you deadline to resume. So if you don't resume by the deadline, you either push the admission to the next semester or you get refund. And it's not all schools that give refund though. When you're picking schools, when you're paying for schools, please check their terms and conditions, and be sure that they offer refund in case you're unable to meet up. Do you understand? So that you can either get your refund or reschedule to the following year. So that's that on that. Thank you so much for watching my video. Thank you very much for your love and subscription. If you have not subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for, because if I catch you there, if I catch you there, don't think that maybe because I'm in Finland I cannot meet you in that country. So please just click on, I don't know why you're stingy with subscription. Go ahead and subscribe. It will not take anything from you. But okay, maybe a little data, but you're bigger than that. Go and subscribe. This information you have paid for, those agents will collect 2.5 million naira for you before they will give you this information. So please be polite and go and subscribe and like and share this video. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day. Bye.